Started. So starting out on your mat, we're going to start out seated. I know we started our Vata practice on Monday a little bit different, but we're going to start out seated. We're going to do another Vata type of practice. And the reason why is because it's really windy. We are dealing with a windy day here. Calm the body down and manage the wind by doing practice, because Vata is wind. So we are going to help ground that. So starting out with your hands at your, going to just take a moment and the breath moving in and out of the nose. And as you breathe, is breathing out, relaxing, and the head moves back over the shoulders. Bringing awareness of the body and how you moved through your day today. So if you're having a frantic day, you might notice that in your body, and we're softening the breath and letting everything begin to settle. And then from there, we're going to open the and gently move the body into a rotation. Move to the right side, turning your head and looking behind you. And going to the other side, again, turning your head and looking behind you. And when we're doing a Vata practice, what Vata needs is stability. It needs to be contained. So we need to have calming, stabilizing, strengthening type of postures. So we hold these postures for a while. Good, and then dropping forward, reach your hands out, drop your head all the way down. And if you do want to grab a block, you can use a block. If you're a little more flexible, you can drop your head down to the ground. Good, and then from there, we're actually rotate to a crawling position and then come up into down dog. So our first pose of the night is moving into down dog. Pressing back through the heels, and if you're feeling a little bit stiff, start to walk out those heels, walk out the feet, bring a little motion in, and then draw both heels down. Open up your armpits, and we hold that. And then from there, look up at your hands and pick up your right leg and step forward for a lunge. And we start out staying in a high lunge. Nice and high lunge. Draw back through your heel. And then if you're able to bring your hands to the inside, and you might want to grab a block and see if you can drop down onto your elbows. So we're not changing our legs. We're just changing our arms. So you drop to the inside. The legs stay nice and strong. Staying in the high lunge. Do not drop the back knee. Keep the back knee lifted. And if you're a little more flexible, you can go all the way to the ground. Good, and then from there, we're gonna back up onto both hands and step back into down dog. So remember, we're doing a posture, these postures, and holding them a little bit longer because we're trying to settle, slow down the body. Vata is made up of ether and air. And when ether and air gets out of balance in the body, it's scattered. It causes anxiety, nervous system issues, can't sleep at night, insomnia, fear, doubt, worry, digestive issues. And then picking up the left leg, and we step the left leg forward now. Same thing. We stay up high. Stay uplifted. Draw back through your heel. Stay high in that lunge. Back knee stays lifted. And then bring your hand, that left hand, to the inside. You can stay here or see if you can drop a little bit lower onto the forearms. So one of the things that might start happening when we do a Vata practice, because it moves so slow, sometimes people start feeling a little bit crazy in their mind. And what I will tell you is just become the witness and the observer of that. Be the witness, be the observer of it. Because what happens is it will settle down. It will just start to settle. And then if you're a little bit more flexible, you'll just be dropping down onto the forearms on the ground. Keep the back knee lifted. And then from there, lift up and step back into down dog. We're going to hold down dog for 10 full breaths. Draw your navel in. And then from there, look up at your hands and step your right leg forward again, but this time we drop the back heel and come up into warrior one. The hands are going to come together. So in our warrior one for Vata, we're really going to try to open up the chest. So you bring your hands in and you reach them up above the head and take them back behind you. Now, if you cannot do hands together because you're limited in your shoulder girdle, it's not a big deal. You're just going to go right up from the shoulders and reach. Behind you, though, not up. We're going behind. And you're reaching. Bend the knee in the front. Draw the navel in. And once you go as far as you can, we're also watching low back issues here. Once you've gone as far as you can, then we hold it. And be stable in it. Bend that front knee. And then from there, we're going to straighten that leg and release the arms. The hands are then going to go behind the back. So you have a few different options. I'll turn and show you. Your options are, I'm going to have to move my mic. Your fingertips come together at the low back, and then you move them up. So we did this on Monday night. It's a similar practice, not quite the same. Similar practice. You go up as high as you can. Try to take your hands all the way to the upper mid back. Draw your navel in. And then drop forward. Now, you do have to move your elbows back and your shoulders back. And then drop forward. Relax your head. Keep the legs straight. You're dropping that head down. Keep the elbows moving back and the shoulders moving back. And then from there, release. Come all the way up, and then you release your hands. Go all the way down. Move through the wrists. Shake out the wrists. You might need to do that. And then the arms come up, drop down, and step back into down dog. And we hold down dog again. 10 full breaths. And then from there, we're going to step now the left leg forward. And we're going to do the same thing. Drop your back heel. The hands come to the heart. So you're either reaching the hands up together in prayer, or if you're a little more limited in your flexibility in the shoulders, you're going to go right up from the shoulders and reach. Okay, so you go up, reach back behind you. Go as far as bend in this pose. Tailbone is in neutral. That means it's down towards the ground. Open up. Nice, you guys. Keep bending that knee in the front. We're holding this pose. And then slowly, slowly releasing out of it. And now we go back to straightening the leg, and the fingertips come to the low back. Bring them together. Move them up as far as you can up the spine. So if you're staying down here because that's your limited flexibility in your wrist, no problem. You're just going to stay right where you are. Your level is your level. Move those fingers up. Move up. Moving up. As far as you can. And from there, shoulders move back, elbows move back, up, forward. And then from there, slowly coming up, releasing your arms. Again, you're going to move through the wrists. Move through the wrist. Then come up, drop down, and step back into down dog. So we are going to do 5 full breaths here in down dog. Then we're going to shift into plank. And then from there, shifting into plank. And now we hold plank. Now, you might need to drop to your knees and modify your plank, no problem. If you are really feeling weak today, you can do your plank bent knee position. Okay, so your level 1 position would be like this. Level 2 position, you go into half. Level 3 position, you come up into full plank, and it is super strong. Back through your heels. That is how you help yourself. You take some of the weight out of the upper body. Good. And then from there, lower all the way down. So we're going to lower and Grab your feet. And press back into child's pose. All the way back. Rest. Rest in child's pose. Do here with our Vata practice. Settling all of that Vata energy. Scattered. And the way we do it is by being still. Using postures that require strength. That's what Vata needs, strength. Good, and then from there, coming back up into down dog. We're gonna go ahead and step right into Trikonasana. If you want to walk, goes on the baby toe side of the foot. We are gonna line up the front heel with the arch of the back foot and then reach and extend. Open up. You wanna line up the front torso with the front leg. Keep the head neutral. If you do have neck issues, you could turn your head and look at your big toe. If you're a little more flexible, then maybe you can bring your hand to the ground. And now I am going to take you into a more challenging pose. We are going into Ardha Chandrasana. It is a balancing posture. And you're going to work your way there because we are holding it for 5 full breaths. That's a long time. So dropping the left arm to your low back, turn your head and look at your big toe. Slide your back toe in. So this is your level 1 position. You're just holding it here with the toe here on the ground. The next position is to lift that back leg up. See if you can do that. If you can release the block and go onto the hand, that would be your next level. And then release the arm. Your head is still looking down. Both legs are active. Do not let the leg in the air get limp. It needs to stay strong. And then if you feel stable, turn your head and look to the side. And then from there, slide right back into Trikonasana. Slide right back in, then swing the left arm around and step back into down dog. We're going to go from down dog and shift into plank. 5 breaths here in plank. Then lower on your 6th breath. And again, we're going back to downward facing. your heels. Soften your face. Keep your knees in as if you're holding a block. Lift up. And then from there, release. Nice. And we go back into child's pose. Relax. Back into child's pose. Good. From there, come back into down dog. We're going to do the other leg. Step forward down with the left leg. Line up the front heel with the arch of the back foot. And again, we're going into, you can start out with a block, lining up the torso with the front leg, straighten both legs, reach your arm up. And if you're a little more flexible, you can eliminate the block and bring your hand to the ground. If you have issues with your neck, turn your head and look at your foot. Both legs are straight. Lift your kneecaps. And then from there, you're going to turn your head. We're going into Ardha Chandrasana. Hard pose. You can do it. Do a modification if you need to. Drop the right hand to the low back. And you're going to slide. I'm going to use a block to start. Slide your back leg in. And this is variation 1 right here. I've got the toe on the ground and I'm going to hold it. Then to see if you can lift that foot up off the ground. Then release your arm. And maybe eventually you eliminate the block. Your head is looking down towards the floor. Then see if you can turn your head to the side. Now this leg that's in the air is activated and strong. Do not let it get limp. That's where you're going to lose your balance. And then slowly from there, slide right back into Trikonasana. Then swing your arm around. Step back into down dog. Shift into plank. 5 full breaths. Then lower on that 6th breath. And again, this is our last one, by the way. You're going to come back, grab your ankles, flex your feet, lift. Soften your face. And then from there, release. And again, we go back into child's pose. Good, and then from there, we're gonna come into down dog. And then step your right leg forward. I'm gonna turn this way. Right leg forward, and then we're gonna turn and go wide with our legs. So the first thing that we're gonna do is our hands are here in the center. And we're gonna start by walking our hands to the right foot. So they do not have direction. You can also use a block. So the block goes over here by the foot. Okay, now if you're up to the baby toe side of the foot, and we're holding. Okay, or you don't even have to use a block. You could just grab that ankle. And then we go to the other side. So now you move over to the left. Same thing. You're either going to use a block, both hands on the side. You can grab the foot or the ankle and hold. Okay, and then from there, we're going to grab the big toe. So you take 2 fingers, bring them together, wrap around the big toe, connect to the thumb. Do it on both sides. And then drop your head. Bend those elbows. Keep dropping your head. And then from there, release. So you're going to rotate back over towards your right leg, step back into down dog. Good. We are going to do a rotation. So you're going to drop both knees down onto the ground. And then sit and pull the right leg up. Sit on the inside of the left ankle. Okay. If you need to get on a block, go ahead and get on a block. Sit up tall, and then we twist. So you can grab the leg, or you can do like I'm doing. I'm going to go to the outside and drop my hand down towards my hip. If you're not using a or both sit bones are flat on the ground. Look behind you. And then slowly releasing out of that. We'll do the other side now. So now you drop the right leg down, pull the left leg up. Again, you can sit on a block or a blanket and grab that left leg and rotate. Good, and then slowly, slowly coming out of that. And we have one more posture, believe it or not, before we go on to our restorative practice. So pulling your flesh away, I'm sitting on a blanket. That's going to get my pelvis a little bit higher, make it a little easier to move forward into a forward fold. And then we drop down. Relax your head. Good, and then from there, slowly, slowly releasing out of that. And we're gonna go onto our back now. So laying completely flat on the back, like you're going into Shavasana, relax. Close your eyes and take a few breaths.